everyone, how you doing today? Thought I'd show you another update on this Legacy Combat CV for Reforged Eden 2. So to start with, first thing I want to talk about again is the bridge. I'm really tired of talking about the bridge, but here's another newer version of the bridge. I lowered it down a block. This was kind of more based on the original design of the bridge, but it's lowered. I messed with some of the blocks on the side, try to get it a little bit sleeker looking and things like that. But that is that bridge. Now, I played around with another variant of the bridge, and this one is the no-neck bridge. So it basically just sits on top of the hull, but it does do the angly thing, kind of like the Empyrion bridge that I did on the last video worked. So that's another option there. Now, this bridge design here, I don't hate it, but man, it wasn't what I intended this ship to look like either. So it's kind of like a mixed bag there. I'm not against it, but I think I like this other version better. But that's just, you know, my personal preference. Please, you can chime in on that. I'm getting really tired of messing with the bridge right now. Maybe I'll get back to it. But I have all these other versions saved on various builds. I could always paste them back onto this version of the ship. So, okay, so beyond that, I've been doing a lot of block conversions, and I've been adding xeno and layers and things to it right now. So first of all, I swapped all the blocks to steel to start with, and then I went around for a while with a multi-tool, and I downgraded all the little trim blocks, the HUD on, like this little stuff over here, and little blocks that go over other blocks, basically, that are adding deco. So about 300 blocks were downgraded back to carbon, and then I upgraded a lot of these front blocks currently to hardened steel around this nose area, but the real armor is on the inside, and this whole area beyond that is all packed with xeno. And then we got like our first decoy here, and I got some open pockets in here all over the place right now. Not sure how much xeno I should really be putting in this. And then it goes to another decoy back over here. So there's a turret. Now I'm trying to put also a layer of xeno across the top of this. I think the top's going to take more damage than the bottom side of the I don't know, target area, I guess you could say. So it is more heavily built there. Then I got a decoy fuel tank kind of buried in here. And then there's all this xeno around the front strafing thrusters here, or the strafing thrusters that are these guys here. So they're kind of protected on all sides, except, yeah, they're kind of protected on all sides. And there's a big, like a firewall here, and that's kind of right in front of a lift thruster. And I haven't like xenoed off the back side of that yet. But then there's another big firewall back over here, and this is in front of the down thruster. And then I added a whole bunch of xeno blocks all around the heavy weaponry on here too. So there's layers in between each gun, and even the outer wall here. This is another layer of xeno blocks. And then there's this top gun is cut off from the other ones, and that's got a layer of xeno blocks in between that as well. And that's kind of where I'm at with placing xeno blocks. Now currently, again, yeah, there's quite a lot. I wonder if it would tell me. Probably not. I was just kind of curious if it was going to tell me. It's already needing 12,000 xeno material in the build here. So, and somehow it's still rocking quite a lot of carbon, and I'm not sure even what's using that because there's not really that many carbon blocks on the build, and the rest of it's iron. Anyway, motion-wise, with the upgraded thrusters, and I don't know if I said that. I don't think I said that yet. I did upgrade the reverse thrusters and the forward thrusters to the plasma variants, and also these two lift thrusters back over here. So those are the only thrusters I did upgrade to plasma. The rest of them are ion right now. And motion-wise, it's with all the xeno blocks and all the guns on it as well. It is 71 forward, 71 reverse, 53 on strafing. And then your up and down are pretty close, 30 and 32. Secondary numbers, 32 on the yaw, and 30 on roll, and pitch is pretty bad. But this has all its guns on it right now. Okay, so technically speaking, it has 27 turret positions, 20 sentry guns in here, and then your 8 main plasma batteries, and then it still has a long range, the big long range radar on it. And that's kind of where that's at. CPU wise, it's 200,000 over Core 9, almost identically right now. So yeah, a lot of these turrets will be removed. In fact, you know, it's not going to really come with guns when I get it to the workshop, so you can kind of pick and choose. It will have probably the sentry guns though, because they're really cheap, and they're all over the place. And there's like 20 of them on the build. I didn't put much in the sentry guns at all in the front nose area though. They don't really start till about here, and they're kind of covered this whole chunk of the ship basically, in various places. Quite a few of them, especially back over in this area. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. And CPU wise, it's over, and it does not have any shield parts in it. Doesn't even have a main shield. Doesn't have a warp drive, and stuff like that. So CPU crunch is you know, in effect now, especially after adding decoys, which is wasting more CPU, upgrading the thrusters, which is costing more CPU, and stuff like that. So anyway, I don't know. I guess I got some questions for you guys too. Am I doing this right? The way I'm going about blocking this off, trying to have like layered approach, like it would have to shoot through all this, and then once it shoots through all that, then it has to go through this, and then it has to go through that, and then you've got even another backup layer before it gets into the inside. Is this right? Should I have more xeno blocks? Should I have less xeno blocks? Should I be going about it in a different method? And that is my biggest question. I guess I don't know if if you got some good experience with combat and things like that, especially in Legacy space and Reforged Eden 2. You know, I'm kind of all ears. I just don't know if I'm really doing this right. Now, to be honest, internally, doing what I'm doing here, it kills me. It really kills me internally. I like to build ships, you know, where I try to make them core building thing is have everything plausible, or try to be plausible, and having like decoy turrets and surrounded by this stuff, it bugs me, and I don't like it, and I feel like and I get like annoyed at the ship after I do these kinds of things. But in this case, for what this ship is for, you really kind of got to do that kind of stuff, or the AI is going to shoot at your real stuff, and it's going to be a lot more problematic. So, but I'm just thinking of, you know, all the stuff that could have been in this area of the ship, and now it's just garbage full of random xeno blocks and crap. I still at least have these back portion of the ship, you know, I can do stuff with, and plenty of room in here for the shield parts and all the pieces I need. Again, man, this is such a balancing act though, building one of these things. It's with the CPU trying to, you know, I wanted this to be functionable at Core 9, and already it's 200,000 CPU over without any shielding or a warp drive. And I don't know if I have enough power generators in here yet either. I got 2 of them, but I don't know, and any other things that use CPU. So it's, yeah, problematic. But keep in mind, when I'm doing this, I'm just trying to keep like all the turrets on here. Granted, I'll be it's got 27 turret locations. I doubt anybody would probably use all of them. So I mean, each one of these is currently 10,000 CPU, and they're just the tier 1 turrets too. What I would like to try to keep intact on this build is at least some of the heavy weapons, or at least be able to place them after you get the build. That's something. But anyway, I just want to do a video and get your feedback, especially on how I'm armoring this. Now, I do want to start texturing this thing and getting it moving forward on everything else. I did copy over the color palette as well, and it's kind of ready to start texturing. I don't have time right at the moment to do that, but I just wanted to see what you guys think about how I'm trying to do the interior. Should I have more xeno than I already put in there? Should I be upgrading a lot more of the hull blocks? Like I said, I only really touched some of the hull blocks over here and only to hardened steel. I didn't even touch combat steel or anything like that, but I'm so scared of the performance of the ship, of trying to move all this crap, you know, this big pin cushion or punching bag around with you. So the AI all shoots at this whole front chunk of the ship and leaves the whole back chunk of the ship alone, where all the expensive stuff's going to be. But yeah, anyway, that's where I'm at with it. One last thing, I brought up the very old ship here, the Nemesis battlecruiser. This is my first, like, more legit combat CV, and I haven't built very many, trust me, because they annoy me too much, I think. Yeah, I built this a long time ago. It was basically like a double-layered combat steel hulled ship with maximum weaponry for, at that time, in vanilla. This is predating CPU and all forms of Reforged Eden. Didn't exist then. I remember when I first built this thing and put it on the workshop, it flew like a twitchy SV. It was so responsive and quick. It would turn on the dime. You could probably do a complete 360 turn in a second or two at tops. It was crazy fast. Then I look at it in present form in Reforged Eden 2, and wow, yeah. So this is how it works here. I think the numbers were generally up in the, I don't know, some of these were over 100 on its motion before, but obviously it sucked. It barely moves, barely turns. CPU is way over. Just, yeah, and this is before any extra shield parts existed or any of that stuff either. So it just has a main shield, and that was it. But anyway, there's that, and basically I just don't build ships like this anymore because, well, you can't, because the rules all changed. You can't really just do this kind of thing anymore and expect them to fly reasonably all right or anything like that. Now, granted, in this version, a lot of the thrusters could be upgraded to the plasma version. Figure you could probably get the stats up to twice as much is maybe what they are now for motion, around there at least. But yeah, the CPU would be even more insane, and you'd never be able to basically use the ship or do anything with it. So building this one, I'm trying to be, I'm trying to keep it as light as I can, but at the same time, the more armor I put in it, probably the better. And I don't know where to stop with the armor. Granted, I could add probably another 2,000 xeno blocks to the build yet. And that would really, I could fill in a lot of stuff, add some more decoys, fill in even more stuff, add some more decoys. And there's just a lot of room for it. But if I do that, the ship will be either way too high of CPU or just simply will be so awful at flight performance that you won't want to use it. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. And I haven't, like, even with the Xeno, I haven't like addressed anything else. I haven't like sealed off other thrusters, generators, other parts yet. And it just, this whole thing just scares me to death. And that's kind of why I've been kind of slow about this. I looked at it a couple times over the weekend, and I was just kind of, one time I messed with that bridge, and the other time I started doing this, and then I got upset, and then I stopped, and then I was like, I'm too annoyed to work on it right now. And that's kind of, I want to get the ship moving on, and I want to get it textured and painted and ready to go. But I just want to see if I'm doing this part right on the inside. And this insane balancing act between the CPU, the armor, the power, the guns, the decoys, the this, the that. God, I don't envision wanting to build another one of these when I'm done, or another combat CV anytime soon, at least. They are frustrating and annoying to build, especially in my case. Like, I like to build ships around plausibility, or that's one of my key building things. I try to keep everything sort of plausible. It's a voxel game and it's not plausible, but and I gotta say, I hate with a passion putting in this kind of thing, buried turrets and buried crap like that. And I didn't even put a launcher in here, and I thought it, people say that or I have heard, I don't know if it's true, I kind of hope it's not true actually, but that they will shoot at your launchers as well, and that differently from your turrets. So I should also take some random launcher and dump it in the punching bag area here for them to have more stuff to shoot at that can't work. Problem with the launcher too is you also see it on your toolbar, and then it can't work, and it just annoys me. It just really annoys me. As in thrusters too, I did move these little baby thrusters, and I put them. Actually, no, they're mediums. I guess they're not the smallest ones. I did kind of drop them down a block, put a grate over them over here. I don't know if that's going to work very well as a decoy. Those would probably just blow out the just good old plain steel blocks on the side, take it out. But I'm trying to protect it more from the top than I am from the sides, I guess. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on all this, especially the armor and stuff like that. But yeah, man, legacy combat ships like this, it just sucks. You know, I'm always torn between, I want it to feel like a ship, I want it to be nice on the inside and like thought out and things, and when I do what I'm doing here, it like literally in my own head, I like to build less and less. The more and more I do of this, I just don't like it as much now. So, but what are you gonna do? Other than that, you all have yourself a great day, and I'll talk to you later.